Straight ahead on 12 News, back from Liberia and prepared to leave again. We'll meet the Brooklyn Park man who has joined in the fight against Ebola. Then what a new housing report says about the Twin Cities, why it's considered more affordable than you might think. But first, a developing story in Brooklyn Center as police respond to a double shooting. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. We start with an active police investigation in Brooklyn Center.
Around 1:15 this afternoon, police responded to a report of a man shot outside Checkers fast food restaurant. When they arrived, they found a second victim at the gas station next door. Reporter Cassie Bonstrom joins us now from the scene with the very latest. Cassie?
Police say there was some sort of confrontation between two adult men here behind me in this parking lot, and that led to them shooting each other. When police arrived, one man was lying in the parking lot while another was in the nearby Super America. Both were taken to North Memorial Hospital.
Currently, I do not know the status of the victims. I do know that one of the males had a significant wound to the head area, but at this point I do not know his condition.
Witnesses told police that several other people fled the scene on foot, which is why canines were brought in to search the area. A car also fled after the shooting. Police, however, got a license plate number and were actively searching for that car. Now, Commander Peters did say during a press conference that there was a young child with the victim inside the Super America. However, they are not sure at this point whether the child witnessed the shooting. The child is in police custody, uninjured and safe, fortunately. So live reporting in Brooklyn Center, I'm Cassie Monstrom, 12 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Cassie. Maple Grove Mayor Mark Stephenson says tougher penalties are working for businesses caught serving alcohol to minors.
They take that seriously because they know how much that's going to affect their business. And so they have been better as well at making sure that their staff is following the rules.
Still, 4 Maple Grove businesses were recently cited for serving alcohol to a minor. They include Rusty Taco, Chipotle, Frankie's Chicago-style pizza, and Cambria Sweets. It's a first violation for each business, now facing a $2,000 fine and 2-day liquor license suspension. Maple Grove's mayor says some violations happen even when a server has been asked to see a license, and it should be clear that they're working with a minor.
All you have to do is look at the license. It says under 21. The picture's in a different place. There's a different color. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways that the licenses are different, so you don't have to calculate a date.
A few years ago, a third of Maple Grove businesses were caught violating their liquor license, which prompted the stricter penalties.
Now to Brooklyn Park, where city council members are crunching numbers to come up with a budget without any spending increases. The city is looking at a $44 million general fund budget. That's $294,000 higher than last year. For the median valued home in Brooklyn Park, city taxes would go up 6% or about $53. Compared to similarly sized cities around the metro, Brooklyn Park is near the middle for taxes on a median valued home. Still, continued spending increases remain a key talking point.
From the beginning, I've had one theme, which was we need a spending moratorium. We've seen our budget increase $8 million over the past 5 years, and it is just not sustainable.
The council this year has made several decisions. One was to add a bond for the police station remodel. We made a decision to increase salaries for our employees, and those two things have increased spending.
The budget discussion did not include changes under consideration with the fire department. A final decision on whether to add 18 full-time firefighters and reduce part-time fire staff is expected next week. Members of the American Refugee Committee are about to head out to Liberia with the goal of stopping the spread of the Ebola virus.
Reporter Sonia Goen spoke with a healthcare worker and Brooklyn Park resident who is part of that effort.
It is tough. It is a tough thing to see how this disease has so devastated Liberia.
Winfred Russell was recently in Liberia making preparations for the American Refugee Committee team.
I didn't provide direct care. I was not in contact with any sick person. I did not even see my mother, my relatives, when I was there.
When he returned to Minnesota, he went on a 21-day quarantine, holed up inside his Brooklyn Park townhome.
So my food came in these containers.
He says it was tough staying put, but he knows people in Liberia don't have it as easy.
You know, I have water, I have food, can be dropped off. Those folks have none.
He was also monitored by the Minnesota Department of Health.
So my temperature is 98.3, so I'm fine. You know?
He says his trip was worth the trouble, just to make sure everything goes well for the team.
So the good thing about what ARC is doing, the ARC response effort is being led by Liberians. So Liberians are at the forefront of it. I'm going to be the response manager.
This is the first pair of gloves, then you'll put another pair of gloves on.
About 15 members of the American Refugee Committee are heading to Liberia. It'll be one of the largest groups to head out from Minnesota. Right now, they're getting briefed on safety precautions.
It's a coverall suit. Meant for full body protection.
About 5,000 people have died from Ebola, so safety is a top priority.
We also have more like full face respirators. Everything has been carefully researched and planned. All the equipment has been carefully selected as the best possible equipment in the market.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The American Refugee Committee team will head out on Thursday, and then another group will follow 2 weeks later.
The Twin Cities may not have the cheapest housing stock, but thanks to higher wages, a new report says Minneapolis-St. Paul is the most affordable for home ownership among the 25 largest metropolitan areas in the country. The median priced home in the Twin Cities is nearly $213,000. The median household income is just over $67,000. That's $15,000 above the national average. When you combine those two factors with homeowners' insurance rates and property taxes, Minneapolis-St. Paul came out on top. It's no surprise which metro area was the least affordable. The report by Interest.com found San Francisco as the worst wage-to-price ratio.
A Golden Valley woman is being remembered as a cancer fighter in more ways than one. Joy Wetzel was a board member of the Minnesota Ovarian Cancer Alliance and was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2001. As she battled for her own health, she also offered hope to others and insight to doctors and nurses. Kathleen Gavin of the Ovarian Cancer Alliance calls her irreplaceable. Gavin says she offered hope to newly diagnosed women because Wetzel herself was a long-term cancer survivor. Joy Wetzel was 71 years old. Still ahead, a culture shock when it comes to cancer screenings. We'll show you what North Memorial is doing to cross ethnic barriers.
And then later in sports, get set for what should be a great season for the Champlin Park boys basketball team.
But first, the chilly weather continues to stick around, though it looks promising by the end of the week.
A new study out today shows the pressures teens face in the high school dating scene.
The report in the journal Pediatrics shows sexting has become the new norm. 40% of teens surveyed said they experienced some sort of cyber dating abuse, and 30% said they were involved in sexting or the sending of sexually explicit messages with a mobile phone. The report also shows it's common for teens to report partners repeatedly contacting them using mobile apps and texting to find out where they were and whom they were with. The study provides the first clinical research on abuse involving social media and young people. Experts say about 1 in every 8 women will get breast cancer at some point in their lives.
Early detection provides the best chance for survival, but that message isn't getting out to everyone. And in today's Health Check, Delane Cleveland looks at a program that reaches out to some of those people about how to take the necessary precautions.
Do you have insurance card too?
A trip to the doctor is an activity that's familiar to any culture, but for this group of women from the Twin Cities Lao community, breast cancer screenings are a relatively unfamiliar concept.
In Lao, I don't know about what's screening mammogram, what's breast cancer. I didn't know until I came here.
Chongchith Sangsudam is a health program manager at the Lao Assistance Center in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
With help from the Susan G. Komen Foundation,
This is for mammogram.
she's able to educate Lao women about breast cancer prevention and take them to North Memorial for mammograms every year, acting as a translator in the process.
Our community know more about why we have to do mammogram every year.
Outreach to all groups in our community is very important.
It's a service that staff members at North Memorial's Hope Chest Breast Center in Robbinsdale are happy to provide.
Sometimes certain groups get neglected and are not always aware of the need for screening, and so we are very happy to welcome them here today.
She says screenings for all women, regardless of ethnicity, should begin at age 40.
We are always trying to reach out to any women who are not getting those screenings done, trying to identify the reasons why they're not getting screened.
Bottom line, there is always room for improvement. And with this service, they're trying to hit at least one underserved segment of the population.
Because no pain, no sign, no anything. That's why we have to do mammogram every year.
In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
In addition to receiving mammograms, the Lao women also receive cervical cancer screenings through North Memorial's midwifery program. Coming up, a little purple persuasion to help adopt a pet.
But first in sports, the Champlin Park boys basketball team is aiming at another conference title. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. It's official. After more than a week of making snow at Elm Creek Park Reserve in Maple Grove, they are open for cross-country skiing. It's the earliest open they've ever had at the park. Right now, just the Valley Trail is open at the park, which has man-made snow. There are 5 other natural snow trails, but those will not open until conditions permit. And John Jacobson's here with sports. We are talking winter sports season,
Yes.
but you're talking indoor basketball.
Basketball practices started for both the boys and the girls now. Local boys basketball teams are into their second week of tryouts and practices. Look for Champlin Park to be a top-level team again this winter. The Rebels returned 3 starters from a team that won 19-1 in conference play to win the Northwest Suburban Conference title. They were 25-3 overall and runner-up in Section 5 4A. Though they're just getting started, the guys are excited about the possibilities this season.
First couple practices, we're already starting to get together, come together, make some beautiful plays. So, I mean, hopefully I can transition into some games coming up.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely liking it a lot. You know, we're pushing each other hard every day, giving it our all, so it translates on the court.
All Northwest Suburban Conference picks, J.T. Gibson, Marty Hill, and Jeremy Johnson are back to lead the Rebels. They also have 2 of the top sophomores in the state, and guard McKinley Wright and big man Theo John, who is getting a lot of recruiting interest from major colleges. He should provide a new dimension inside.
We got more of a true center this year in Theo John. In the past, we've had, big guys, but not true centers. We've had kind of forwards and guards playing center position. So this year we got the true center, and then that gives us the ability to be more athletic and more aggressive on the defensive end, even more so than last year. So.
Rebels open the season Thanksgiving weekend at the Early Bird Invite at the Lindbergh Center at Hopkins High School. They play Bloomington Kennedy at noon Friday, November 28th. The fall season ends this week with the Prep Bowl. On this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12, Jay Wilcox and I named the first of our fall all-area teams in boys and girls soccer. Here's a sample of what you'll see. Let's start up front with our forwards and Armstrong's number 8, Mariah Haberly. The junior netted 22 goals to go along with 9 assists for a Falcons team that lost just 2 matches all season. Haberly was named All-State and second team All-Metro. Our defenders include Park Center's number 21, Molly Monson, a solid, dynamic player who helped the Pirates to the best record in school history. Monson netted 11 goals as a defender and was named All-Conference, All-State, and second team All-Metro. She was also selected to the All-Tournament team at state.
Maple Grove's Kevin Huff helped his team to an undefeated regular season. The Mr. Soccer finalist is a 2-time All-State pick and was Northwest Suburban Conference Player of the Year. A physical player and great in the air, Huff had 12 goals and 5 assists.
Perfect header.
Number 11, Arthur Perrins, was at his best in the big games for Wayzata. The speedy Perrins earned all tournament honors at state for the AA runner-up Trojans and scored in the state final. In all-state selection, Perrins had 10 goals and 5 assists.
Catch the full teams and the honorable mention picks on this week's Sports Jam show. It's on through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on Channel 12 and 12.tv. Next week, the 24th through the 26th, we name our football offense and defense plus our volleyball team on Sports Jam. Armstrong's Courtney Evensen finished up her 6-year varsity swimming career last week with medals in 4 state meet events. On this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12, we meet the high school senior. Here's part of that story. Former Maple Grove High School swimmer Justin Zook took over the Falcons program this fall. It's a great season for both coach and swimmer.
It's been a very different thing for me. And I'll be pretty upfront. I've never coached someone with as much talent as Courtney has. It's pretty remarkable to watch her swim in practice. It's actually a lot of fun. But at the same time, she's someone who has kind of developed the atmosphere here where it's a good thing to work hard. It's a good thing to pay attention to the coach and make sure that you're putting in 100% every day.
It's really been fun, like having him as my coach and like working with him, and I've really enjoyed the change. It's been a change in the positive direction for the program, so I wish he would have come sooner in my career.
Great finish for her career. Next year, she'll swim at the University of Missouri.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, Vikings players join the road to the Puppy Bowl.
We'll explain coming up next. It's believed to be an orchestra first this Sunday in Golden Valley. The Golden Valley Orchestra is performing the first ever Teddy Bear concert. Teddy Bear concerts originated from European family concert tradition, encouraging children to bring their favorite stuffed animals to concerts.
This concert is specifically designed for children so they can hear their music live. So we'll be performing pieces from Disney, we'll be performing classics from Leroy Anderson, who's a famous children's music composer. We'll also be performing some more classical pieces from Tchaikovsky.
The Golden Valley Orchestra has teamed up with Toys for Tots and is encouraging folks to bring a new unwrapped toy for donation. The concert is this Sunday at 3 o'clock at Calvary Lutheran Church in Golden Valley. Admission for adults is $10. Children 12 and under are free. Finally, a little purple persuasion in adopting pets.
Vikings center John Sullivan, running back Joe Banyard, and team cheerleaders visited the Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley today. Not only were they there to encourage pet adoption, today and today only, there was a reduction in adoption fees.
People want to come and see the players, and they can come and see the animals, so it really is a win-win. And who doesn't love a Viking player who loves dogs and cats, right?
The adoption event was part of a special production by the Animal Planet channel, which today covered 50% of all adoption fees. The network will feature the most adorable adoptees during what it calls the Puppy Bowl during a show in February, so stay tuned for that. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is up next. We'll see you tomorrow.